What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 74 of the Always Race Day podcast. I'm Connor Ferguson here with Damon Helgevald. Today we're presented by the Carl Auto Group. As always, they came in here and they said, we're going to present you as the sponsor for the last race of the NASCAR regular season and the entire dirt weekend we had. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about it. I do want to talk about their cars really quick. Damon, you ever wish you could drive a boat?
Drive a boat?
Yeah.
I actually had there not been storms today, I would have had a chance to.
Honestly, that sounds lame as shit because I'm going to talk to you about Carl Auto Group and that you could drive a car from there. And it's way cooler to drive a Carl Auto Group car than it is a boat. That's my entire ad read.
That's sounds a lot more put together than before.
Full disclosure to everybody, I'm probably like 5 Busch Light tall boys in and a pina colada. So I went to the country club today. It's not very pinkies down of me, but went there and hung out after the race got delayed because I knew it'd be a little bit, and had fun with my parents, some friends. We had like 16 people in their little sports bar, sand trap area, whatever you want to call it, watching the race, watching the last 20 laps of it. So that was cool. It kind of stunk that it wasn't as exciting because it was 10 cars left on the lead lap, but it was fun. I had a blast. Landon Castle got a top 5. He finished 4th, career best for the Iowa native. And Austin Dillon is going to the NASCAR playoffs as well as Ryan Blaney. That being said, Martin Truex misses it. What was your biggest takeaway from the day, Damon? Or rather, where do you want to start?
Where can you start? I mean, there's so many places you could actually.
Ross Chastain finished outside the top 15 for the 6th straight race. That's where I'm choosing to start.
It's a good starting point. Didn't know that tidbit, so that was a good factual. Start out. I guess since we're spitting out facts. This will be the first time in I don't know. I guess he missed one, but what was it? 5 out of the last 6 years or something like that. Truex has finished in the top 2 or at least in the top 4 of the playoffs. And
I sent a tweet about that to Austin Kaninsky from Sportsnet. Fantastic kid. He's in one of our group chats, and I love the dude. He's as passionate as we are, I'm sure. He almost wrote for us. Kind of pissed that he didn't. But so he said Martin's gotten top 2 for the last 5 years, and top 2. I guess it's just, to me, it's like, and I'm tripping over my words right now, trying to think of the word I'm talking. It's mundane, like a moot point, because you lost in the championship race. That's 2 is the same as 4 in that situation. I don't know if the purse is any different. I'm not 100% sure on that. NASCAR hasn't published purses since 2016, but I get it. He's finished in the top 2. He's done that. Martin Truex season, 12 top 10s this year. In the last 5 years, he's never gone under 20.
Right.
I know there's 10 races left. I don't think he's getting 8 top 10s in 10 races. I think he's been bad this year to his standards. And also, finishing 11th in the standings is no different than 17th. Okay, other than if you want to hang playoff banners for your drivers. And I get it. That's a real thing for some drivers. And I think it is important to note that stat for some drivers. But when you've won a championship before, 7th, 11th, and 16th are basically all the same.
Not necessarily. Here's why. It's a business side as well, because there are teams who incentivize their drivers and incentivize their companies that they sponsor, that they incentivize them by making the playoffs. Then they incentivize them by finishing here in the playoffs and here and here. So on the business side of things, from a blind looking in at just the racing perspective, maybe it is the same. Maybe 7th is the same as 16th or whatever the hell it is. But from a business side of things, I can guarantee you that Johnny Morris of Bass Pro Shops is wanting to see his driver with the playoff stripe instead of just a regular car.
That's fair, and I'll say two things to it. The first one being like the more serious of the two, but it stinks for Martin. He's had chances to win races. I think everyone knew the rules coming in, though, and also if he didn't lose the draft today, he's in the fucking playoffs. Sorry for cussing. Sorry for cussing. I'm obviously a few beers deep, but he was racing with Landon Castle after he lost the draft the first time, and he was still in the playoffs. And I'm not mad that he lost Landon Castle's draft. Landon Castle improved his position after Martin Truex lost his tail. But all Martin had to do was follow. All he had to do was follow. And
that's out of the whole deal, because it was those two by themselves. The group that was behind him, led by none other than David Reagan, and was
former super speedway winner.
Right. Being pushed by Cody Ware. So let's not forget about that.
Former super speedway starter.
Yes. Today, actually, to be honest.
He did start the race today.
He did start the race, and he had a chance. Both of those cars, plus that entire pack of there was about 7 other cars, caught up to those two. When they did, they kind of snaked their way around. Martin was a sitting duck because his car is a lot slower because it's beat up. He was missing a whole right front fender. He had a big ass parachute in the right rear fender. So now he's slowed even more. And the draft is coming by. Landon was able to get up and take the lead of that draft because he saw it coming in his mirror and had enough time to move up. Martin just didn't have as much time because he was going to get caught one way or another. If he made a move high, Reagan was going low. If he stayed low, Reagan was going to go high. So Truex was going to lose it one way or another because of his slow car.
That's fair, but I don't think that excuses him losing the draft in the first place.
Yeah, it does. His car was beat to shit. It shouldn't have been out there anyway.
That's fair.
If he was already won a race, if he had already won a race and that car was in the garage and Truex was in Charlotte.
Okay, record that. You're right. Put this clip out just like this. Just you're right.
I can't believe it.
We've done this 74 times. I've said you're right like 6. It never gets old for Damon.
Never gets old. Never gets old because it doesn't happen often. It's like it's like Santa Claus comes once a year.
We'll get to the rain controversy and everything for a bit. The other thing I wanted to say about your Bass Pro Shops comment, tell them to go sponsor Austin Dillon.
They already do.
Are they still there this year?
Yes. They've been on the car like 95% of the year. Where the hell have you been?
Dude, Austin Dillon's not up there every week.
Country club. You should spend less time at the country club and more time watching the race, and you'd know what's going on.
I haven't. I got a damn number 3 guy right up there above my shoulder. So
yeah,
that hurts.
Well, it ain't helping you.
I guess I should have realized they're still with them. Maybe they'll increase their sponsorship now. One's a playoff driver, one's not.
How can they increase it? Oh my goodness!
They can sponsor them every week of the year and maybe get a black number 3 throwback out there.
They won't do it.
Tell Teresa to shove it.
It's not Teresa. It's Richard.
Now I'm getting in trouble.
Yeah, this is bad.
I'm just pointing softly to the dumbest controversy we've had in the sport in a long time. The whole day was I texted you. I said Chris is going to fire me if I sit here and read Twitter all day. I said this is bad. Like every
it
day.
Was a bad day.
Dude, there were people like sending in response to. So what happened? I guess if you didn't see the entire race, 20-something laps to
21 go. 21 to go.
Well, that was when the caution came out, or
that's when they brought.
Yeah, no, okay, no, you're right. I'm sorry. Shit.
Goddamn, that's twice in one
Second time this episode. So 21 laps to go. They're coming to the line. Everyone's kind of thinking rain is going to get there soon, right? Now, they started the race at 9 o'clock. They knew the forecast all day had been very questionable. They're obviously looking at that all day long. When you start a race at 9 o'clock in the morning, that's Central Time, 10 o'clock Eastern Time, whatever you want to call it.
Should have started at 9.
9 Eastern? No, I don't think so. I wouldn't have been out of bed.
Should have started at 9 Eastern. They would have had it done.
Oh, man. It's the noon start time people all over again.
That was the point.
Yeah, I got you. No, but so they go in the corner, the entire pack, and it just starts downpouring in turns 1 and 2, and it's not a foreign.
Not even 2.
Yeah, not even.
It was just
turn
1.
It's not a foreign concept that it rains on one side of the racetrack and not the other. At Daytona, it really isn't. Earlier in the race, they had drizzles on the track. It did not affect the grip of the cars. It was not heavy enough to do that. This storm came right out of the blue, and if you're a Formula One fan thinking like they should look at the radar, Formula One today would not have ran more than 15 laps of the race, and they'd pack everything up and go home before any fan.
Stay on concept.
You're on
concept.
Track. I'm staying on track. Don't worry about it. I'm just saying it's not a foreign concept that NASCAR has seen rain close to Daytona and not stop the race because the track is so large. That's what happens. And sometimes there's water on the racetrack, whatever. The water on the racetrack today caused the cars to wreck, and it all came out really close. Basically, in Justin Haley's in-car camera, he came on after this wreck took out everyone but about 10 cars on the lead lap, right? So everyone's torn up, everyone's stuff is trashed. Justin Haley comes on NBC afterwards after being involved in the wreck. He's in 6th. And he comes on NBC or CNBC and says, "Oh, it was raining for an entire lap before they even threw the yellow. I don't know what NASCAR is doing. This is BS, blah, 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 blah." NBC or CNBC, but NBC as a broadcast entity from now on, so I don't have to keep going back and forth. But they put on his in-car camera, Justin Haley's, because they had one hooked up right away. And there was no raindrops on the windshield until he got out of the tri-oval going into turn 1. And what you might be thinking at home right now is, why didn't they throw the yellow right away? They saw raindrops there. They're not monitoring every camera. And I'm going to make it weirder because Austin Dillon's in-car camera video came out about 45 minutes after this started. Austin Dillon's in-car camera, you cannot see raindrops on his windshield at all, like whatsoever, until the cars are already wrecking. He
was also back further, but yeah.
Yeah, he was back farther on the inside line, though, and you just can't see any raindrops even falling once you got over there. So it was a weird little pop-up storm, and obviously was the start of the big storm that caused the race to be delayed, but I think it was an anomaly that we ended up having to stop this race. Obviously, the rain caused the wreck, but I don't know. If you're NASCAR, you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's a tough call to put NASCAR into there. I'm a pretty critical person when it comes to officiating NASCAR races, I would like to think, especially on here from time to time. It was weird because it had the looks of rain. There was reports the lap before. I did come to find out that from the lap before that there was rain on the roof where the spotters stand was. So there was that the lap before.
And I did hear that. I'm not calling them liars. And I don't know who specifically it came from, but I'd wager with however many there were, and I think there were 2 or 3. Almirola's spotter was one. So that's Almirola's spotter's not going to lie. He wasn't running up front, right? But the guys in the lead, usually like you'll hear spotters say like, "Oh my God, it's raining. It looks so dangerous out there." A win.
Right. Right. I mean, it was. You got, like I said, you got Joel Edmonds on the roof. You had, obviously, Brett Griffin was upset with it, and he's very vocal about it. And there was a couple other guys up top that were pretty upset with it. Plus, there was some fan video from the grandstand, and I know you've already addressed it as well. But it was,
it's just because it's raining in the grandstand doesn't mean it's raining on the track.
Right. The chances are good of it. But it regardless, it was just a bad situation to be in. You don't throw the flag there and the place goes nuts because everybody wrecks. You throw the flag there and the place goes nuts because now you got somebody out front with 20 laps to go that, you're not getting the finish that you bargained for. So instead, we crash half the field, all the field that was there. And there was 2 cars that made it through there pretty unscathed. Austin Dillon didn't touch anybody, and Cody Ware. Those are the only 2 cars that didn't hit anybody on their way out. So
did Cindric hit someone?
Cindric was so far in the back, it didn't matter.
Okay. He count. Landon Castle also didn't hit anybody. So we got crashed.
They were all behind Kevin Harvick, he T-boned a guy coming up the track.
Oh, don't get me started with the Harvick fans today, man.
So regardless, it was it was a tough situation to be in one way or another.
Real quick, Damon, you have that other tough situation where if you throw the yellow and you wait things out to, have a fair winner and race to the end of the distance that was advertised for these fans that are so important to our sport. And they make our podcast too, the same people that are so important. And you have noted F1 fan Brett Griffin on his Couch Racer burner account tweeting that NASCAR is ridiculous for making.
I don't think that's Brett, actually. I don't think Brett's actually tweeting on the Couch Racer account.
I don't know. I don't know who it is, but they're not very smart. And I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. I'm not calling him out. I'd love to have him on the podcast. There's a lot of takes of him I disagree. Obviously, he's a good-ass spotter. He spots for a lot of people. If that tweet was from him, though, I will absolutely call him out. I'd love to get a definitive answer from him.
Yeah,
I have a lot of people that I know that think it is him, and it's all speculation. It is all speculation. I will say that.
He tweets some. I'm not saying he doesn't tweet all of them. He will tweet some from there, but I think during the majority of the racing action.
Well, you're at a rain delay with nothing to do. What are you going to do? Tweet it out.
He was on his way home.
Tweet out the madness, man.
He was on his way home.
There, RV in the rain?
No, he
driving home?
Flying. Airplanes. Can't have airplanes.
Airplane Wi-Fi, spotter salary?
Can't have airplanes can't have phones on an airplane.
Damon, you take phones on every airplane. You can get Wi-Fi too for like $15.
You can't use them. You can't use them, Connor.
Spotter salary. It's a spotter salary.
Yeah, I think you might want to listen to their show a little bit to find out about spotter salary. So
that was mainly the joke I was poking at. But
it was such a weird. It was a weird deal. I think a lot of it also had to do with who was out front. I think had it been somebody else that had already won a race, we also wouldn't have been waiting around 3 hours and 19 minutes to start it.
Yeah. Yes and no. I don't think Austin Dillon was going to win that race if they called it. Can I explain that take, or do you have the same one?
No, I was just saying, I think if it was somebody else, then if it was one of our previous 14 winners that were in the field was in the lead, they wouldn't have waited 3 hours and 19 minutes to run 20 laps.
Yeah, I think the controversy of it was a big play. Do you think so too?
Oh yeah, 100%. Absolutely.
Okay. My thing is, so if you guys don't know this, and there's a lot of complaints, and I like having discourse with people on Twitter and messaging back and forth, what we think. A lot of people think I'm being disrespectful. I got to work on how I type things out because I'm not trying to go at anybody.
Very disrespectful.
Right? Only F1 fans I'll go after. But a lot of people seem to be confused how Austin Dillon was called the leader. And I believe NASCAR started this race very early in the morning, looking at the forecast for the middle of the day, with the notion of, well, if it rains in the morning, we'll wait it out. The track has lights, and maybe we'll send people back to their haulers and say, like, we're going to resume the last half of the race tonight when it's not raining. Something along those lines. You know, they were on CNBC. They had the CNBC window all day. They moved the IMSA race to USA, which was cool because they kept the live event on the same channel. That's usually the policy you follow. But NASCAR has a rule in their rule book, and they influenced this in Bubba Wallace's rain delay win. And when you call a race for rain and you're prepared to do it and you're going to do it, you go back and you can review on the video who was in front at the last caution loop. And I wholeheartedly believe NASCAR would have done that had they called the race. Now, declaring Austin Dillon the leader was because his car got through the wreckage unscathed. I understand that Kevin Harvick was trying to say, oh, we got the win because we were ahead of him when the caution came out. You're still behind 4 wrecked cars. I did not get what they were arguing and where your logic there was coming from, because they were campaigning for Ty Dillon or Chris Buescher to win that race. That's what they were doing with whatever argument they were trying to settle. And I get it. You're trying to throw a Hail Mary. You know, Kevin doesn't win that much anymore. He's a little bit washed up. I'm kidding, Kevin Harvick fans. Joke for you.
Oh my God, the guy has won 2 races this year.
That's what I'm getting at. I get it. You're lobbying to win the race, but their car was wrecked. They went home. They said the race is restarting. They're like, we're done.
Kevin was already gone. He said that he was leaving after his interview.
Yeah,
he did. He left after the interview.
I also don't think that's a great formula to leave the racetrack because you think
he knew his car was done. The car was trashed. They weren't going to get it around the track another lap.
Yeah, that's Stuart Haas's team compared to Team Penske, who got Ryan Blaney back out there. It's the difference.
Ryan Blaney had a little bit more to compete for today. Oh my God!
I'm just trying to poke at everybody I can because it was so fun.
It's pretty apparent.
The entire day has just been screw NASCAR for this, screw NASCAR for that, and I'm just sitting here like, why are we all overreacting to a rain delayed race? Like this race is going to restart this afternoon. I'm going to be having a damn good time, and I did.
So I'm answering a message I got from a buddy of mine. He asked me what my thoughts were today because he couldn't see it.
Tell him listen to the podcast.
He couldn't believe that Blaney got in. And I said, well, take the most chaotic thing you've ever watched in your entire life and triple it, because that's what happened.
That wasn't even the most chaotic race at Daytona this weekend.
I don't care. It was chaos.
That's fair. I didn't think Martin Truex Jr. would lose the draft. I don't really.
You had your playoff guy who was in wreck in the first however many laps it was.
That's true. The one guy out of the last 10 that could screw things up for Martin Truex Jr. won the race.
And then you have Truex getting a wreck. Then Blaney couldn't continue as well as he needed to. So now you got both of your guys who are in with damage. Mass chaos ensues because you have like a 35-car pileup in turn 1 because of a pop-up rainstorm. And now you've got a guy out front who needs a win to get into the playoff in the situation that they didn't want to see. It's mass chaos.
You're right. And it was all there today. It was top to bottom. I thought it was a great race.
Yeah, it was good.
I hope and everyone involved in a wreck came out unscathed, completely good. I know Justin Haley got his laps messed up. He said his excuse for saying that it was raining all the way around the track, even though on his in-car camera it showed it wasn't raining until he got to the tri-oval. His excuse was took a hard hit there, but thank you to NASCAR for their safe cars. Just got my laps mixed up. Took a little bump in the head.
I think the best quote came from Kyle Larson on like lap 25 when he came out of the race because of a blown engine. He said, "I'm thankful to be leaving here with all my limbs."
Oh, that prima donna that wrecked Chase last week, man.
Yeah, weird how he was the guy that has.
I'm just kidding. I hadn't poked fun at the dirt fans yet, so
weird how he was the one with a blown engine out of the HMS camp. Not saying to put on the tinfoil hats, but let's think about this.
I'm leading that with the podcast. I'm just going to say Damon thinks that Kyle Larson's blown engine was a result of team orders.
I did not say it was a result of team orders. I just said
transitive property. I think we can get there.
I think let's think about this a little bit. Oh, just think about it.
Should we get to the rest of the weekend?
Do we have to? There's not a whole hell of a lot that's going to top it other than Clements, man.
You even see the shirt? You even see the Ayrton Jennison shirt?
Hey.
You even see it? You even see the video last night?
I did. I was going to ask you a question, but I'll wait till we're done to ask the question. So.
Oh. I think it'd be funny if you asked it now.
No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't.
Okay. Well, Ayrton got the win while I was at the track. He waited for a race where I was going to be at the track. Selfishly,
it was Team ARD at Knoxville on.
It was Team ARD night with Eric Bridger going out on top. If you're listening to this podcast exclusive, Eric doesn't know where he'll be driving next year. He doesn't know if he'll be driving any type of race car. His family is getting out of the sprint car business, and Eric is technically a free agent as things stand right now. He didn't tell me to say this. I'm saying it for him to try and anyone who listens, if you know anyone who's looking for a driver, anything like that, hit up Eric. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic driver, real second or third, maybe first now. I don't know what the career wins list for the Pace Pro Series is at Knoxville, but he knows how to get around that place. And if he's in a good car, he'll put the pedal down. He won that race yesterday. He was ahead by about half a lap by the end of it. So let him know. Let me know. Text me, text him. However you get the message across. But it was great to see Eric take the ARD sticker to victory lane again. Didn't get to do his celebration victory lane again because of rain. So I guess the sticker is just the jinx to the celebration after the race. But Ayrton was told not to drive into victory lane and then just drove in there anyway. So
nice. Good for him.
First career win for him at Knoxville. It's a weekly show. They call it the toughest weekly show in the nation because of how much it means to win. And it meant a lot to him. And he wasn't racing the makeup race. So that was probably the cherry on top for everyone involved. And he promised everyone he wouldn't go winless this year, especially in Knoxville. And he got it done. So I'm super proud of him. And it's always cool to see one of my buddies in victory lane. He's a good one.
Yeah, I was happy to see that. Very, very happy for Ayrton to get on and get that win. It's pretty cool to see the excitement from the video you got of him coming into the pits as well and going across the scale. That was pretty cool to see how pumped he was and the guys were. And also got to give a congratulations to Bridger as well to see him pick up another win. And
our guy Terry McCarl won the 360 championship.
How about that? T-Mac does it again. So just a good weekend for those guys, but very, very happy for Ayrton and for Bridger to get it done.
Yeah, absolutely. Fireworks all night at Knoxville. Championship race is coming down to the last stint. I thought, and I probably could have done a better job of updating people, but I wish the points were like more advertised on like the video board and stuff. And like, here's the situation, if this guy wins, what this guy has to finish, if this guy finishes wherever, you know what I mean? Carson Macedo took home the World of Outlaws sprint car race on Saturday. Ryan Timms, our guy, it was Team ARD night all night Saturday. Friend of the pod, Ryan Timms, day after he turned 16, goes P2. Youngest podium finisher in World of Outlaws history at 16 years old in one day. So unless you're very, what should I say, specific, Damon, in what day your kid gets born and make sure it's a Saturday, 16 years old from his due date, then it's going to be really tough to top Ryan Timms at 16 years in one day on that record unless they get some sense into him and change the age requirement rule.
Yeah, it's pretty cool for Tim's. Good deal for him. Was able to catch the dash draw. They were taking forever in a day to get things moving in that one. So I turned on the late models race and didn't actually get to catch the sprint car race. But they were interviewing him for the dash, and it was really cool to see him go up there and talk about his night and see how things have been going. Guys, just he's so laid back. He was laid back with us, and he was just the same guy that you saw in Dirt Vision, and wasn't amped up, wasn't one of those things of where he was out of sorts. It was just him doing his business, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a great kid. Doesn't want to fight anybody. That was his answer. Awesome.
Good. It's a good answer. Being 16 years old, you're trying to get a 16-year-old to fight and in trouble. What is wrong with you?
What if he said, like, I'll just fight the other 16-year-old and I'll take Corey Day on?
Doesn't matter.
Justin Henderson method.
What's wrong with you?
I got people I'll fight. It's the same. It's a question, man. Don't need anything about it. You're acting like the people in my Twitter mentions today and like getting all riled up over.
Yeah, I am. I'm heated because of this.
Tanner English took down Bobby Pierce for the World of Outlaws late model Quad Cities 150 finale. He did it twice, Friday and Saturday. Beat Bobby by 0.2 of a second on Friday night. So good for that kid. $30,000 winner. Over on the Lucas side, Earl Pierce.
Who had a worse weekend than Bobby Pierce, by the way?
I can name a few people. Austin Cindric, Martin Truex Jr.
Well, I'm just saying, Bobby Pierce
Clint Garner had a pretty bad weekend.
Bobby Pierce finished second 3 nights in a row.
Yeah, well, I'm not done yet.
I don't care.
Kevin Harvick fans, anyone that's a fan of Kevin Harvick, F1 fans that predicted that Max Verstappen starting 14th would have any impact on the race.
It did. Not.
Should I keep going, or are we good? Are we good?
No, I was good after
Scott Frost had a pretty bad weekend. Anyone that cheers for Nebraska,
I was good after the first two, but
okay. Yeah. I just wanted to. Maybe that's our new segment. Is just not even Connor's shit list. Just like, oh man, that stunk.
Who had a bad weekend?
Here's the worst performances of the weekend. Kyle Cummins dominated the Kokomo SmackDown. We didn't get to see too much side-by-side racing between Robert Ballou and Brady Bacon, but I think I'm a Ballou dozer guy after he put the little mini bulldozer into the driver intro deal. Did you see
that? Was pretty cool. I saw the video of him going across the track. That was neat.
Just neat. I can't satisfy dirt fans. Don't like driver intros, man.
Fine. I like driver intros. I just think I'm a Brady Bacon kind of guy.
Oh, all right. Maybe I'll have. We should have done it last week. I was going to. I didn't want to text both guys and say like, "Hey, come on the podcast. If you don't, we're gonna pick the other guy's side." I don't got Brady's number. Still also the issue. I have Robert's number.
We're also still even. Still even.
Maybe we'll get him on. We'll see. We'll see if it intensifies.
There you go.
Trying to think. Was there anything else from this weekend? Any other takeaways?
Jeremy Clements, man, in the Xfinity race, first win in like 9,000 years, it felt like.
5 years to the date of his first win. Isn't that
Was
crazy?
it 5 years to the day?
Yeah, seriously.
That's insane. Good for him. Good for him. Very excited for him and that entire
I hate
crew.
it. I hate it for him.
Guy.
I hate it for him and his entire crew.
Why?
Landon Castle has to work that much harder to make the playoffs, and his crew chief doesn't seem to know how to race for stage points. Who's his crew chief, by the way? Isn't he on that the Door Bumper Clear podcast?
No, he's not.
Are you positive?
100%.
Spotter. I meant spotter, not crew chief.
His spotter also is not.
Do you know who's spotter?
No, his spotter is Freddie Kraft.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
shocking.
he's on the show.
Wow.
You know who's
not a good weekend for him.
You know who's Freddie Kraft also spots for?
Who's that?
Your boy Bubba. So
yeah, well, I can see why. I can see how this has been a rough weekend for the entire podcast there. Gotcha.
Okay.
I can't wait to hear what they say.
I can't either, actually. I'm kind of excited for different reasons than you are, but I'm excited.
I'm poking fun mostly, but also Freddie, fucking race for stage points, man. Please, you're killing me.
I don't think that's his choice.
He's the what do you just say it in the radio?
Yeah, because I don't think he gets to make that call.
I'd be like, on your inside. Don't pit here. We need stage points on your inside.
I don't think that's his call.
Well, you might.
There's a guy getting paid a little bit more from Colleague Racing that sits on the pit box.
So my beef should be with Matt Colleague for hiring that guy.
Sure.
If we miss the playoffs in the Colleague 10,
you'll be like Ross Chastain.
I'm going to go off the rails. Yeah, I'll do it on the video game. I just got a PS5, by the way. Hell, we could play tonight. If you want.
Jesus Christ!
I haven't gotten a headset yet.
Money bags. I'm going to the golf course so I can drink pina coladas with the boys.
I gotta find between Best Buy and Target who sells a headset and a second controller. But I got the Supercross game, and I'm gonna get PS Premium or whatever and get NASCAR off that. They didn't have the NHRA game where I went.
You can get it online. It's actually pretty cool, by the way. I've been playing it for the last 3 days.
How do you like it? I saw not a trailer of it. I saw someone on YouTube playing it.
It's good for a base. If they continue to build off of it, it'll just get better. For a base, it's pretty good. For the first one in 12 years or 15 years, whatever it's been, it's pretty good as well.
How's the burnouts on there? They didn't look as animated as the PS2 game that we both have. But
no, it's not.
I also thought it was partially operator error on the guy I was watching.
No, they're not as animated. But you think about today's day and age of drag racing as well, and burnouts aren't near as big and smoky as John Force did back in the 90s either. So,
I disagree. I'm a Fuel Altered fan first.
Yeah, well, your opinion doesn't count on this. You just come out of the woodworks once a year, but
you're completely correct.
But the game itself is really cool. The gameplay, especially in the career mode, it starts out pretty difficult, especially if you don't know how to drive the vehicle that you're being put into.
Oh, that's
perfect. It took me 12 races to figure out that I needed to actually rev up at the starting line to get my shifts right. Once I did that, the field couldn't fucking catch me. I won 7 of the last 9. Yeah, not in the top fuel cars or the funny cars.
Oh,
but
great.
They start you in career mode in the super modified class, and it's basically your factory cars, and you're running a 4-speed super modified car. Your factory souped up. Basically, it's a Dodge Charger is what they put you in, and you gotta kind of work your way to get so much money so you can start upgrading your shit. Well, needless to say, it took me 12 races to figure out how to get it all lined up, put together. Once I did that, the field couldn't touch me. I won 7 of the last 9 races and went from 24th in points and finished 5th.
All right. 5th place finish is my bar for when I get this game.
Well, I'm glad. Right now,
where'd you get it? Did you download it?
Yeah, I just downloaded it.
Because I have the disc version of the PlayStation, because the Outlaws game is only on disc for PS5 at least.
It
is what I was told by a Facebook comment. And now that I say it out loud, I'm very, very skeptical.
So here's what I'll say is it sucks to not have the OEMs. Its online play is really weird because
does it suck because the cars look weird without the logo on the hood? Okay. That's what I was getting to. I was just gonna agree with that, but
it does. It looks weird for John Force to be driving the same type of car as Ron Capps. I'll just put it that way.
The bodies don't look that similar, do they? That's just a casual fan that was like complaining about it 3 months ago that I saw. I take too much stock into what I see out of like one tweet or one Facebook comment because it's like, man, maybe the casual fan does think this.
No, the bodies are different, especially in real life. The bodies are different, but on the game they're about the same. It's kind of weird, but so not having the OEMs is kind of tough. The online play is weird because like I can't just go and say, hey, I'm going to race you heads up and you and I are on the same party and having a conversation through the headsets. It's different than that. You kind of go through and pick who you want to race based on the leaderboard. As far as I have figured out so far. So that's interesting. But I do like it as a drag racing fan. It's kind of weird because some things that are supposed to happen that don't happen in the game, but it's really cool. It's cool to see the updated version. It's cool to drive with people that I know personally, and it's really cool to have, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are a lot of glitches in this game, though. I'm going to point that out. There are a lot of weird things that happen in this game that will never ever happen on an episode that you ever watch.
Should I stop at Target before I go home tonight?
Target or Walmart, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop there on the way. Zach's going to be pissed off about it, but
otherwise, you can download it.
I haven't set up the PS5 yet, so my parents part of getting it for me, but I paid them for it. Split most of the cost, I think. I don't know if they lie to me or not on how much it costs. I gave them. Anyways.
The real thing is that you have it.
I spent some money. Well, I'm going to go pick it up at dinner tonight. Family dinner. Part of why we're recording early.
There you go. You should just set it up then and go beat your dad.
Yeah, I'll see if they have a controller and or a headset. And if they do, I'll let you know.
Okay, yeah. That'll be good.
Where are you golfing at?
I'm not golfing.
Oh, I thought that's what you were doing.
No, I have an event at the school I have to go to.
A golf event?
No, we're welcoming our freshmen to campus. This is kind of the underclassmen welcome the freshmen, and then they have like a big party before classes start tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome. I like it. So open bar or closed?
Well, it's an ice cream truck, so I can't help you. I don't know.
Sounds like a closed one.
Sounds pretty closed.
All right. If we don't have any more takeaways, I just think if you think NASCAR looked embarrassing today, you're either an F1 fan or you didn't read and you didn't listen to what people say. That's what I got to say about it. I thought it was good. We're ramping up for the NASCAR playoffs. That's the main focus for the rest of the year. That's kind of how the racing season goes. The dirt stuff kind of tones down. We're not done with dirt. Don't worry. World 100 Dream Weekends coming up still. Gold Cup at Chico. Those are both on the same weekend, so I'm not helping my case here. We'll be at the Knoxville Late Model Nationals all 3 days. I'll be at the World of Outlaws race at Lakeside down in Kansas. as well as I-80 probably same weekend. And we'll kind of go from there. That's what the schedule kind of looks like right now. But I'm super excited to take it out to the end of the season. We can start talking silly season stuff. I feel like it looked like it was going to ramp up early, but now it's, look at where we're at now, and it isn't full bore yet. So we're kind of getting pretty late in the year. This is kind of when things kind of fizzle out. And a couple IndyCar races to finish out the year. I'm pumped for those. So hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's entertaining, and hopefully all our buddies win this weekend. We had pretty damn successful weekend between our friends, Damon.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for the crew, and now just gotta keep it up.
It will be much easier to identify the crew when their faces are on the RV I'm going to buy.
I can't wait till you buy it.
It'll be a couple years, I think.
Oh, I thought you were going to have it by like next week.
No, the market's gone up like apartments did, and my dad is like, he's an economist, more so on auto stuff, but he was telling me about apartments too. He's like, the market's going up, it's not going to come down. Like, you think it's going to come down? Because him growing up, like, everything just went up, right? I think everything at this point is supply and demand, and at some point it'll go down, and we'll get regular prices again, because I'm not busting $30,000 for anything. And
I don't know about that. Spent $61 at the grocery store the other day and walked out with a bag and a half.
A bagel?
A bag.
Oh,
and a half.
I thought you were Minnesotaing me.
No, that's a bag.
What did you get? I can do that with like 6 containers of Vicasa cheese.
Well, I didn't get that. Let's see. I got some Fritos. What else did I get?
I like how if you're watching on the YouTube right now, you can see Damon eyeing his grocery store purchases that are still in the cabinet.
Well, because some of them I thought were still out, but they're not. I got some brats and those little breakfast sausage links, at Johnsonville pre-packages. Yeah, I got some of those. What else did I get? I don't know. I got $61 worth of stuff. It was only like 12 items at best.
There's probably some more beer in there from when the last time I was there.
There was I did not buy beer this time around, actually.
You want to say even 10 items at best is $6 an item.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I guess it depends on if I'm getting like 7 brats, 10 brats, whatever,
I got 4.
Oh, it was one of those. Okay.
Yeah.
I assume it costs $7.29, but I'd still rather pay less than $6.
I would rather pay less than $6 too as well. I agree.
Maybe that market will come down. I don't know. It's not grocery stores. It's like other crap, I guess. I don't know.
Oh boy.
But either way, we'll have a camping spot at Knoxville next year, hopefully in the North Campground, I think. We're going to get that set up in the next couple weeks here. If you're wanting to come, we'll probably just throw post-race parties. Even day drinking parties. Anyone want to come day drink? I think we could make it happen.
There you go.
Cool.
I like it.
Right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Next episode's another milestone, 75. So we're going to do absolutely nothing special for it.
No plan to.
Maybe the 100th even like feels like maybe when we get there it'll be different, but I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'll wait till 500 or something, but we'll figure it out. All right. Thank you all for listening. We will be back midweek this week. Sorry for last week. I was roped up in Cycling Fanatic stuff up in Jefferson and Davenport. And thank you for the people that came and complimented the site while we were there. It was great meeting you guys. I never get tired of someone coming up and telling them how much, just seeing me like racing helps them like racing. So constructive criticism, everything, send it to me. I'd love to hear it, and appreciate y'all for tuning into this one. Thank you a ton.